Dear brothers, sisters, respected elders and scholars, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'd like to extend our gratitude and condolences at the same time on the tragic martyrdom of the Lady of Light, Sayeda Fatima Zahra. Inshallah, our efforts are accepted and our contributions to the Majalis are accepted. And inshallah, through her blessings and the blessings of the Ahlul Bayt, we may reach closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and carry on spreading the message of the Ahlul Bayt. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Just a short rundown of tonight's schedule. Inshallah, we will be joined by our respected scholar Sayyid Hossein Qazwini, who will be addressing the second night of the three-night Majalis series. Before that, we'll have some recitations, a few announcements, and then we'll have the lecture followed by Matam, and then there will be some niyaz that will be handed out on the way. Before I invite our respected guest, Brother Yusuf, onto the pulpit, there is a very short video we'd like to play. So if I could just ask you to tune in for that video, and if the Brother Raza can play the video, that would be very much appreciated. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum. We have great news. Muhibban al-Mahdi Youth Foundation has finally found a place to call our own. We need everyone's help to build our vision. We call this Project My Community.
Welcome to the My Community project by Muhibban al-Mahdi Youth Foundation. Together, we can build a brighter future for all.
Assalamu alaikum. Our journey began in 1994 with a vision to empower the youth of our local communities. Today, we stand united, ready to embark on an exciting journey, establishing a community center. This center will be a place where everyone feels welcome and can find support and encouragement.
This centre will offer a large community hall, breakout spaces and fitness areas. It will be a place where our community can gather, learn and grow together. Imagine a space for religious events, educational programmes, sports activities and much more, all under one roof.
Our mission is rooted in the values of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. We aim to nurture a holistic community by engaging with society and responding to humanity's needs. This centre will be a hub for spiritual, educational and recreational activities, fostering growth and spirituality.
Our programs extend beyond religious education. We aim to provide career development through the NYF Aspire program, promote health and social well-being through initiatives like the Football League, and hiking trips through Club 313. We are really committed to nurturing a vibrant and connected community where you may enter as a stranger but leave as a friend.
The need for a dedicated English community centre is immense. Our youth need a place to thrive. Our elders need a space for spiritual fulfillment, and our entire community needs a hub for health, education and social engagement.
Since our inception, we've organized countless religious, sports, social and interfaith activities. In 2020, despite the challenges of the pandemic, we hosted the largest outdoor drive-in Muharram Majalis in Europe, bringing our community together in unprecedented ways.
Imagine a place where children can learn, adults can engage in meaningful activities, and everyone can come together and celebrate our shared values. This is the future we envision, and with your support, we can make it a reality.
My community centre will not just be a building, it will be a symbol of our unity and our strength.
We've already secured £650,000 through pledges and donations. To complete this vision, we need your support to raise the remaining £400,000. Your contributions will make this dream a reality.
Every donation, no matter the size, brings us one step closer to our goal. Together, we can create a centre that empowers and unites our community.
The centre will be a sanctuary for all, a place where everyone is welcome.
Join us in this transformative journey. Donate today and help build a brighter future for our community. For more information and to make a donation, visit our website at myfoundation.org.uk/donate.
Assalamu alaikum. We have great
Salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'd like to sort of reiterate, it is a very big project. As you can see, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done with the centre. The centre is for you guys, for whatever ideas, initiatives that you guys have. Make it your home, and inshallah, together as a community, the more we invest in, the more we'll get back out from the centre. We have a few announcements that will sort of detail our sort of vision over the next decade of plans. But really quickly, you know, whether it's social activities for the younger kids, whether it's tutoring, whether it's career fairs, networking events, religious events, events for sisters, the elderly. Inshallah, it'll be a hub for the whole community to come together and essentially a one-stop for all. So inshallah, with your patience and with your support, we can sort of reach that goal a lot quicker. Salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. I'd now like to welcome our dear friend and guest, Brother Yusuf Okera, who's kindly joined us from Birmingham. So if you could please welcome him with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
Bar Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad wa ajil faraj. Can we have one loud salawat, please? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. I'm just going to start with two verses in honor of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam upon the request of my dear brothers, and then just a few verses of Masayib of Sayeda Fatima salamullahi alayha. If I have your permission, please bless this gathering with a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Hussein baant rahe hai निजात ले जाओ हुसैन बांट रहे हैं निजात ले जाओ. If you do know the kalam, please do recite with me. If you don't, no problem. Hussein बांट रहे हैं निजात ले जाओ कुछ आंसुओं के वजह कुछ आंसुओं के वजह कायनात ले जाओ हुसैन बांट रहे हैं निजात ले जाओ. ये करबला है ये मौजिज़े नुमा की बस्ती है ये करबला है ये मौजिज़े नुमा की बस्ती है, तो कफन में इसके लपेटो, हयात ले जाओ। हुसैन बांट रहे हैं, निजात ले जाओ। कहेंगी फातिमा वक्ते ज़हूर में है दिसे, कहेंगी फातिमा वक्ते ज़हूर में है दिसे। तो लड़ाई के लिए गाजी को साथ ले जाओ, लड़ाई के लिए गाजी को साथ ले जाओ। और कहेंगी फातिमा वक्ते ज़हूर में है दिसे, कहेंगी फातिमा वक्ते ज़हूर में है दिसे। लड़ाई के लिए गाजी को साथ दे जाओ। हुसैन बांट रहे हैं, निजात ले जाओ। बर मोहम्मद आल मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम। बर मोहम्मद आल मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मोहम्मद व आलि मोहम्मद। पहलू भी शिकस्ता है, तुर्बत भी शिकस्ता है, पहलू भी शिकस्ता है, तुर्बत भी शिकस्ता है। क्या हाल ये उम्मत ने, क्या हाल ये उम्मत ने ज़हरा का बनाया है। पहलू भी शिकस्ता है, तुर्बत भी शिकस्ता है। खातून कोई गम से यूं चोर नहीं देखी, ऐसी कोई दुनिया में मस्तूर नहीं देखी। 18 बरस में ही लगती जो ज़रीफ़ा है, पहलू भी शिकस्ता है, तुर्बत भी शिकस्ता है। दरबार में ज़ालिम ने की ऐसी पजीराई, किस तरह से तू बीबी फिर लौट के घर आई। बालों की सफेदी ने सब हाल सुनाया है, पहलू भी शिकस्ता है, तुर्बत भी शिकस्ता है। तू रोती रही घर में हैदर से भी छुप छुप के, तू रोती रही घर में हैदर से भी छुप छुप के, इस्मत की तरह दुख भी पर्दे में रहे तेरे, कुछ दर्द तेरे बीबी बस जानती फिजा है, पहलू भी शिकस्ता है, तुर्बत भी शिकस्ता है। दो ऐसे जनाजे हैं तारीकी में जो उठे, बस घर के ही लोगों ने दोनों को दिए कांधे, एक फातिमा ज़हरा है, एक बाली सकीना है, पहलू भी शिकस्ता है, तुर्बत भी शिकस्ता है। मरहम तेरे जख्मों का, मरहम तेरे जख्मों का, बीबी ना मिला अब तक औलादे उमैया की, बाकी है जफा अब तक, रोने पे भी पहरा था, तुर्बत पे भी पहरा है, पहलू भी शिकस्ता है, तुर्बत भी शिकस्ता है। मेहदी मेहदी से कोई पूछे क्या उस पे गुजरती है, आवाज़ बकैया से जब रोने की आती है, आँखों से लहू रोकर, अरे वो भी यही कहता है, पहलू भी शिकस्ता है, तुर्बत भी शिकस्ता है। तस्वीर हकीकत की ख्वाबों को बना दीजिए, ऐ बीबी तकल्लुम को ताबीर दिखा दीजिए, मातम तेरे तुर्बत पे होते हुए देखा है, पहलू भी शिकस्ता है, तुर्बत भी शिकस्ता है। क्या हाल ये उम्मत ने, क्या हाल ये उम्मत ने ज़हरा का बनाया है, पहलू भी शिकस्ता है, तुर्बत भी शिकस्ता है। मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद अल्लाह अल्लाह।
Thank you, Brother Yusuf, for that wonderful recitation. Inshallah, for the safety and the long life of Brother Yusuf, and inshallah, he continues to serve on the path of the Ahlul Bayt. If you could all recite aloud, Salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Before we carry on with the program, a request for the brothers, if I could just kindly ask you to just move towards the center, and if you could just move as far forward possible, so that the brothers that are coming in late, it's more easier for them to get the space. So if you just shift towards my left or your right, that would be very much appreciated. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Next, we have a recitation by a very young brother who has, alhamdulillah, had the courage and the tawfiq to come in front of you all to recite a few lines of poetry. So if we could all please welcome Brother Abbas with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
الصلوات بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم المكل ولي كلجت ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه ولا آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرزقك توهان وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين بلند الصلوات. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد بالعالمين الحمد بالعالمين الحمد بالعالمين الحمد لله الذي جعلنا من المتمسكين بولايته سلطان الأولياء طر العطاء قوة الوثقى سيد الأوصياء آية العظمى هر المؤمنين أمام المتقين أول العابدين وجه الله عين الله نور الله سر الله أذن الله روح الله باب الله سيف الله لسان الله عبد الله ولي الله أسد الغالب غالب على كل غالب صراط المستقيم شاه نجف هدي قرار علي ابن أبي طالب أمير المؤمنين حيدر حب علي رحمة الله بغض علي رحمة الله بيشما بلند الصلوات. Oh everyone, come sit near me. Let me tell you of baby Fatima, a shining tree, a lady so kind, so pure, so bright. Her heart was a lantern full of light. Baby Fatima Zahra, so gentle, so wise. Her prayers would reach up to the skies. The daughter of the Prophet, our guiding star, in goodness and faith, she's never far. She carried the poor, gave all she could, shed her bread, her love, and did all that was good. Always praying for everyone she stayed, so kind, with strength and patience, a peaceful mind. Her love for her father was endless, so true. Her faith in Allah always shining through. She taught us to be honest, patient, and fair, to help those in need, to love and to care. She stood for justice, strong and brave, her courage like waves that never cave. Through her, we learn to always be right, to walk in the path of truth's pure light.
Narae Haidari!
Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Thank you, Brother Abbas, for that wonderful recitation. It takes a lot of courage to come up, especially at that age. And inshallah, it's many more times to come. So for the continuous recitation and the long life of Brother Abbas, if we could please read aloud Salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Before we carry on the program, just a few announcements that we'd like to go through. The first one concerns health and safety. Yesterday we discussed the multiple exits in case of a fire. The one at the back from which you guys came in is a fire exit. The one to my right through the corridor on the left is also a fire exit. And we can all meet up towards the center, towards the front of the property. The second announcement is we have creche facilities available for parents that would think that it may come in handy. Creche facilities, I believe, do have a live stream and they do have sound system there, so you can tune into the Majalis at the same time. Thirdly, we do have a Fatimiyya Kids Club, which is running alongside the main program, which is in the sports hall at the back of the property. The Fatimiyya Kids Club is essentially a place for children to engage in the Majalis in a bit more interactive approach. They can recite, they learn a few things about Sayeda Fatima Zahra and partake in the Majlis. You do need to sign up for that, but you can sign up today or for tomorrow as well. Salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. I'd now like to welcome our dear brother Abu Yusuf, to bless the Majalis with the recitation of the Holy Quran. If we could please welcome him with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
عطروا مجلسكم بذكر محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن أحسنتم أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا. عسى ربكم أن يرحمكم وإن بصيرا إن هذا القرآن يهدي للتي هي أقوم ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا كبيرا وأن الذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة أعتدنا لهم عذابا أليما ويدعو الإنسان بالشر دعاءه بالخير وكان الإنسان عجولا وجعلنا الليل والنهار آيتين فمحونا آية الليل وجعلنا آية النهار مبصرة لتبتغوا فضلا من ربكم ولتعلموا عدد السنين والحساب مبصرة لتبتغوا فضلا من ربكم ولتعلموا عدد السنين والحساب وكل شيء فصلناه تفضيلا وكل شيء فصلناه تفصيلا وكل إنسان ألزمناه طائره في عنقه ونخرج له يوم القيامة كتابا يلقاه منشورا اقرأ كتابك كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا من اهتدى فإنما يهتدي لنفسه ومن ضل فإنما يضل عليها ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى وما كنا معذبين حتى نبعث رسولا وإذا أردنا أن نهلك قرية أمرنا متر فيها ففسقوا فيها فحق عليها القول فدمرناها تدميرا وكم أهلكنا من القرون من بعد نوح وكفى بربك بذنوب عباده خبيرا بصيرا من كان يريد العاجلة عجلنا له فيها ما نشاء لمن نريد ثم جعلنا له جهنم يصلاها مذموما مدحورا ومن أراد الآخرة وسعى لها سعيها وهو مؤمن فأولئك كان سعيهم مشكورا كلا نمد هؤلاء وهؤلاء من عطاء ربك وما كان عطاء ربك محظورا وما كان عطاء ربك محظورا انظر كيف فضلنا بعضهم على بعض وللآخرة أكبر درجات وأكبر تفضيلا صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على رسول الله وآله الأطهار على رسول الله وآله الأطهار أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد
Salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Thank you, Brother Abu Yusuf, for that wonderful recitation. Before we continue the program, could I just request the brothers to slightly shift a bit more forward? There is a little space left at the back, so we'd like to maintain the distance as well, and inshallah there'll be more people coming, so it makes it a lot easier for the people. So if you could please recite aloud salawat as well as move as far forward possible. Salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. I'd like to now welcome Sister Laiba and Sister Mahreen for a short announcement. I believe they'll be discussing on one of our projects called MYF Aspire. So I'd like to call them up and they can discuss it a bit more further. Salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum. Firstly, I would like to take a moment to send our heartfelt condolences and commemorate the tragedy of Fatimiyya. Bibi Fatima Zahra alayhi salam is a role model for all of us. She's an epitome of immense strength, courage, and piety that inspires all of us, that remains a timeless inspiration for all of us. This evening, we would like to talk to you a little bit about our MYF Aspire project, an incredible initiative by my foundation. Now that we have acquired this community center for you all, we feel like this is a great opportunity for everyone to take part in some of the activities we like to offer. Our mission with this project is to empower the youth to achieve their aspirations through education and career development, ultimately coming together to serve, help, and inspire each other. So now I'm going to, as seen on the poster here are some of the key opportunities we have planned for you in the near future. So through our MYF Aspire program, we would be holding networking events to connect you with the professional and peers. We'll be offering a career fairs to explore various career pathways, a focused mentorship program where you will receive personalized guidance and support from experts in various fields from across to engineering, healthcare, law, and many more. And we'll also be offering interactive skills workshops as well, where you can gain enhanced essential skills such as leadership, communication. And also we'll be offering professional services within our website as well, including a CV checker to ensure that you have the best foot forward and the right tools and resources. So through the MYF Inspire, we want to empower you through a multifaceted approach. Whether you're a young person who is unsure about their next steps, or an expert in any of these fields who wants to inspire, support, and help the next generation of professionals, this is for you.
Over the next 2 days, we highly encourage you to fill out the interest forms or speak to us directly if you're interested in getting involved or if you'd like to help with the future running of our events. And if you have any questions, we can always help you. We have plenty of interest forms at the front, and there will also be a QR code as well with an online form if you prefer it that way. Jazakallah.
Thank you very much, sisters, for that wonderful announcement. And inshallah, we are looking forward in the near future to bring such events to the community. I'd now like to welcome Brother Mahdi al-Rikabi for an announcement. He would just like to talk to you a bit more about the project. I do apologize for all the announcements, but inshallah, it's important that we sort of educate ourselves in the community. We highlight our vision to you guys, so you guys can input whether you think what we're doing, if we're going in the right direction. We'd like to take your opinions on board as well. So hence why I think it's very important that we share our plans with yourself. At the end of the day, we're all part of one community. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Brother Mahdi al-Rikabi with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. My dear respected Sada, brothers, sisters, our elders, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بذكرى استشهاد سيدة نساء العالمين فاطمة الزهراء عليها السلام. We would like to welcome you for the second night of our Fatimiyya Majalis in our new center, our new home. I won't take much of your time, but it's just a gentle reminder of how you can play a part in building up this center for you, your family, and the future of your children. It's a historical milestone and an opportunity to build our center based on the principles of Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam. Muslim youth community and the Shia community in Manchester share a commitment to fostering unity, inclusivity, and a service, making this partnership a natural extension of shared principles. This enables us to expand our programs, benefiting not just our members, but also offering valuable resources and services to the wider Muslim and non-Muslim communities in Manchester. We are at a critical stage today, where additional funding is essential to secure or upgrade our facilities, ensuring we can continue to meet the growing needs of our members and provide a safe and welcoming space. You can help us by paying towards our bridging loan or the maintenance and cosmetic work around the center, by your generous donations, and of course, we also have the standing orders that you can participate in. Both are equally important, as one of donations will help us be more flexible in our programs and take away a lot of pressure, and the standing orders will help in the day-to-day running of the center. Now, this center is ours. More work is required from us as a team. We are responsible for a lot more, for the bills, maintenance, heating and electrics, waste management, and the list goes on, as you can expect. Our different packages you can see on the screen and on the flyers on your way out. Don't forget that every penny counts. No donation is too little in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Contributing to the development of this center is a sadaqah jariyah, a continuous charity, creating a long-lasting legacy that benefits future generations and strengthens the ummah. Allah says in His holy Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما يعمر مساجد الله من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وأقام الصلاة وآتى الزكاة ولم يخش إلا الله فعسى أولئك أن يكونوا من المهتدين. Thank you very much for your time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Brother Mehdi, for that wonderful announcement. If I could just ask the brothers just one more time before I call up the Sayyid. There's some gaps in the middle at the front. If we could please fill them in. For two reasons. Like I said, it's more easier for the brothers that are coming later. Secondly, it creates more of an environment for our majlis. Inshallah, we can be more engaging and we can be more attentive that way as well. So with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Just like to introduce the Sayyid. Sayyid Hossein Qazwini graduated from UC Berkeley with a BA in Religious Studies in 2004. He joined the Islamic Seminary in Karbala from 2004 to 2010, and then the seminary in Najaf from 2010 to 2014. In Najaf, the Sayyid studied under Ayatollah Baqir Irwani and Ayatollah Muhammad Rida Sistani, and he began teaching upper-level studies according to the Shia school of thought in the Islamic Seminary of Karbala since December 2015 on the subjects of fiqh, usul al-fiqh, and rijal. Sayyid Qazwini has presented at a number of academic conferences around the world, including the US, the UK, the Netherlands, and Turkey. And alhamdulillah, we are honored and blessed to have the Sayyid in our presence. If you could all welcome him for the second night of his majalis with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنا يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيمة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والذين يقولون ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. There are countless amount of families that complain of having rebellious teenagers. A rebellious teen, a rebellious son or daughter in the house. What do we mean by rebellious teenagers? Teenagers that are not submissive, they don't listen, they don't follow instructions, they don't abide by the rules and the laws of the house. They constantly argue, question, object to the rules of the father, of the mother. You can't get them to pray, or you can't get them to pray on time. There are many families that suffer from not getting their children to come to majalis, coming to the masjid or the mosque. They're rebellious. They're willing to go anywhere except coming to a majlis or coming to a masjid or an Islamic center. They're out all the time with friends, never at home. And when they are at home, they're always on their phone. They're always in their room. They never come downstairs. They don't come down for family gatherings. They're always missing from the dinner table or the lunch table. They're never there. And even when they are, they're on their phone or they're distracted. They never engage in family discussions, in family talks. The family goes out. They're never interested in going out with the family. Rebellious teenagers talk back. They talk back to elders. They talk back to the father. They talk back to the mother. They're always angry. They always seem to be in a bad mood. This could be the son, it could be the daughter. It could be both. They're always protesting. They're always objecting. They don't follow commands. Raising their voice at their parents, yelling sometimes, causing problems with other siblings, with other brothers and sisters, constant fights. Perhaps these rebellious teenagers, they bully their siblings. They bully their younger sister or their younger brother. This happens. This is very common. And in a lot of families. Now, for the father, for the mother, this is very frustrating. This is very nerve-wracking. To have to fight with your teenage son or daughter every day. Every day it's a battle. Every day there's a war. Every day there's an argument. It could be about the smallest things like taking a shower or doing schoolwork or, God forbid, about drugs or maybe something even bigger, maybe haram relationships. But there's always a problem. There's always a fight. What do you do in this case? What do you do? Do you continue having fights every day? How much of your nerves do you have to wreck? At the end of the day, we're human beings. And a human being can only take so much. Some might lose patience and they might fall ill. So what do you do in this case? Do you use physical violence? This is what we'll talk about. And of course, the answer is no. Do you kick them out of the house? Of course, you don't kick them out of the house. So what do you do? How do you deal with a rebellious teenager? A rebellious son or daughter, and to get them to comply with rules of the house and to bring peace in the house so that there's no longer any fights and arguments. What do you do? At the end of the day, they're your son or daughter. You're willing to sacrifice your life for them. And a lot of children don't understand this. When I say children, you could be a child and you're 90 years old. If your parents are alive, you're still a child in the eyes of your parents. Nuh alayhi salam, Nuh, the day of the flood, was 950 years old. His son was 500 years old. But when he calls him, he says, قَالَ يَا بُنَيْ, oh my child. 500 years old. He calls him my child. Because even if you reach the age of 500, you're still a child in the eyes of your parents. How do you deal with these children? They're a part of you. They're a part of you. If they become successful members of the community, this portrays that your upbringing was a good upbringing, that you were a successful parent. And the failure of your children it reflects on you as well. It shows that you were not successful in raising your children. So what do you do in this case? There are some children that keep on disappointing us, disappointing their parents. Either academically, they slack off in school, they have terrible grades, or morally because of their behavior, or religiously, they refuse to pray, they refuse to fast, they refuse to wear hijab, or all of the above. They're a disappointment in all of the above. So what do you do? Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. First of all, my dear brothers and sisters, first of all, know that you are not alone. If there are constant fights in your family, you find yourself constantly fighting with your children, with your rebellious son or daughter, first of all, know that you're not alone. You are not the first family to have a problem, and you will surely not be the last family to have a problem. There were others before you that had to deal with religious teens, and there will be many after you that will have to deal with religious teens. Not just that you're not alone. You know who also had to deal with difficult teenagers? Prophets of Allah. Prophets of Allah had difficult teenagers, had difficult children. Adam alayhi salam. Adam alayhi salam had two boys. He had two sons in the beginning, of course, and then he had others, Sheeth, Hibatullah. And we are from the progeny of Hibatullah, by the way. We're not from the extension of Habil and Qabil. Habil was killed. Qabil was evil. We are from the progeny of Hibatullah, who came many years later. Allah gave Adam Hibatullah as a gift after the demise of his son Habil. Who killed Habil? Who killed Habil? His brother Qabil. That means Adam alayhi salam had a rebellious son to the point that he killed his brother. Imagine, the Prophet of Allah, yet he has difficulty dealing with his son. You know, the day Qabil, he didn't just kill his son, his brother Habil. The day that Adam alayhi salam died, that day was a day of partying for Qabil. Him and Shaitan, they had a party, they threw a party with musical instruments, with music, with dancing. And ahadith tell us that the first time on earth music was used was the day that Adam died. At the hands of whom? Music was played at the hands of whom? Shaitan and Qabil. Shaitan taught Qabil how to use music to celebrate the death of Adam. Imagine. Alhamdulillah, you don't have your children celebrating your death or your son killing your other son. But this is what one of the messengers of Allah, one of the prophets of Allah had to deal with. وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ نَبَأَ ابْنَيْ آدَمَ بِالْحَقِّ إِذْ قَرَّبَا قُرْبَانًا فَتُقُبِّلَ مِنْ أَحَدِهِمَا وَلَمْ يُتَقَبَّلْ مِنَ الْآخَرِ قَالَ لَأَقْتُلَنَّكِ. Tell them. وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ. Tell them. Allah is telling Rasulullah, tell them, because the story is filled with morals. Tell them the story of the two sons of Adam. When they were tested, when they were asked to make a sacrifice, Allah accepted from one and He rejected the other. So what did He say out of envy? I will kill you. قَالَ لَأَقْتُلَنَّكَ. Habil, instead of saying, I will kill you back, I will fight you, No. He said, إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. Allah accepts from the righteous. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that Allah accepted from me and rejected you. And indeed, He killed him. لَإِن بَسَطْتَ إِلَيَّ يَدَكَ لِتَقْتُلَنِي مَا أَنَا بِبَاسِطٍ يَدِي إِلَيْكَ لِأَقْتُلَكَ. If you extend your hand to kill me, I will not extend my hand to kill you. And indeed, Qabil killed his son Qabil. This was the first rebellious son in history, the son of a prophet. 2, the son of Nuh, as we just mentioned. Nuh, وَنَادَى نُوحٌ ابنه وكان في معزل يا بني اركب معنا ولا تكن من الكافرين. The day of the flood, when it started raining, Nuh felt sorry for his son. He told him, my son, my boy, Bunay. Bunay. Bunay means my small boy. He was 500 years old. Come, ride the ark with us. قال سآوي إلى جبل يعصمني من الماء. I will go stand on a hill and I will be rescued from the flood. قال لا عاصم اليوم من أمر الله. Today you will not be rescued. You cannot run away from the will of Allah. Come into the ark of salvation. And today we are in the majlis of the ark of salvation. مثل أهل بيتي فيكم كمثل سفينة نوح. The family of mine is like the ark of Nuh. من ركبها نجا ومن تخلف عنها هلك وغوى. He who rides the ark of salvation of the Ahl al-Bayt, they will be rescued. And those that refuse, they will perish. And of course, we have the greatest of all of salvation of arks, أن الحسين مصباح هدى وسفينة نجاة. صلوا على محمد وعلى محمد. Nuh was disappointed by his son. His son was a failure. He was a source of disappointment, and Nuh complained to Allah. قال يا نوح ونادى نوح ربه فقال ربي إن ابني من أهلي. Oh Allah, my son is from my family. I don't want to lose him. I don't want him to perish. Allah told him, leave him. Leave him. Khalas, you've done your job. And this is a message to some parents that don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself. If you've done your job in raising, in teaching, in parenting, you don't have to commit suicide over your children. You've done your job, khalas. Leave the rest to Allah Azza wa Jal. قال يا نوح إنه ليس من أهلك. He's not part of your family. Leave him. Let him go. You don't have to kill yourself over your rebellious son. طيب, a third example is Yaqub alayhi salam's sons. Prophet Yaqub. In fact, Prophet Yaqub, how many children did he have? How many sons? 12. 2 of them were obedient. 10 of them were rebellious. Imagine a prophet of Allah who has 12 sons. 2 of them are obedient, Yusuf and his brother Binyamin, and 10 of them were rebellious, were disobedient, who were a source of disappointment for Yaqub alayhi salam. قال يا بني, when Yusuf saw his famous dream of the sun and the moon and 11 stars prostrating to him, performing sujood to him, his father told him, don't tell your dream to your brothers because they will have ill will for you. And this is something very sad, that sometimes the people that have envy towards you are the closest people to you. Sometimes your siblings, toxic siblings. Some have to suffer from toxic siblings. Your own brother or sister sometimes is envious of you. Nastajiru billah. This is a difficult test from Allah Azza wa Jal. فَيَكِيدُ لَكَ كَيْدًا أَنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لِإِنسَانِ عَدُوٌ مُبِينٌ. And in fact, indeed, the whole plan that was orchestrated by the sons of Yaqub, why? To take their brother. First they decided on killing him and then throwing him in a well, and then they brought his shirt with fake blood. All of this, why? They were a source of disappointment. They were rebellious. Yaqub, the prophet of Allah, he had 10 sons that were rebellious. Now you're astonished if I have a rebellious son or you have a rebellious daughter or son. This is normal. This is very, very normal. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. We come to this other segment of our lecture, and that is, why are some teenagers rebellious? We have to understand. When my son or daughter doesn't listen to me, they don't follow the rules that I have for the house. They break their curfew. They're always on their phone. They go out with friends that I don't like, that I don't approve of. Maybe, la samahallah, God forbid, they go towards drugs. They go in different directions. Why? We have to try to understand, why are they being rebellious? This is the first step to solve any problem, is trying to understand what's the problem. What is going on? Number one, we have to understand that teens are going through a transformation. Your 14-year-old son is not like how he was when he was 10 years old. Your 15-year-old daughter, your 14-year-old daughter is not like how she was when she was 10 years old. They're transforming biologically, psychologically, mentally. They're transforming. Their body's transforming. They're becoming young adults. There's a lot of transformations that are happening in them. That's why you will see mood swings, anger issues. They have temper, they have a sharp tongue. It comes with the stage. This is a stage. It's the stage of puberty. It's the stage of maturity. This is normal. Every teen has to go through this. Every teen has to go through this. Every son or daughter, every child has to go through this stage where they're transforming from children into young adults. And sometimes they don't know what's happening. They don't understand the transformations that are happening inside their body, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. You have to cope with them. First of all, understand that this is a stage. What do I mean by a stage? That means it's temporary. Every stage is temporary. It's not meant to be forever. So if they have temper, if they're angry, if they protest, if they object, this is not going to stay forever. This is temporary. They're going through a stage. They're becoming adults. And hence you see children in this age, or young teens, they do things to try to prove themselves as adults. They do things that adults do. What's the first thing they do? Smoke cigarettes. They're 13, 14, they pick up cigarettes. Why? Not because they taste good. Believe me, cigarettes do not taste good. And they smell. And this is a horrible habit. I'm not telling you it's haram, but it's a horrible habit. And it's addictive. But why do they do it? Because they see adults doing it. So they associate smoking with adulthood. It's the cool thing to do because adults do it. So when they start smoking, they feel they've become adults. Or they want to drive. Why? Because who drives? Adults drive. Driving is associated with adulthood. And hence they love driving. They want to get their license. They want to drive. This is a stage. Cope with them. Be patient. It's a stage and it will pass. This is number one. Number two, my dear friends, there's a very important point. Sometimes we parents, we cause our children to become rebellious. Yes. Sometimes I'm the reason. You're the reason. Parents are the reason. The mother, the father is the reason. How? When we spoil our children, spoiling them too much. There's nothing wrong with spoiling children, but there's a limit. When you exceed the limit, you will cause this son and daughter to turn against you. Don't think that you're doing them a service. Yes, there's nothing wrong with taking care of your children, spending on them, going on a vacation, going on a journey, buying them what they want, but everything has a limit. When you spoil them too much, when you buy them everything they want, when you never say no to your children, this will backfire because you're sending them the wrong message. What is the message that you're sending them? That I am willing to buy you whatever you want. I am willing to provide you whatever you want, and I will let you have whatever you want. This is wrong. This is wrong. What happens if, God forbid, tomorrow you leave? You leave this dunya. You have a child that has been spoiled, that has been used to having a father and a mother that says yes all the time. What are they going to do tomorrow? You think that you've prepared them for the right future? No, you've destroyed them. They have to learn how to become independent. They have to learn the value of money. They have to learn that money has to be earned and not wasted. How to spend economically and not wastefully. Also, another problem in spoiling some children, and I see a lot of parents, they commit this mistake. What? They justify everything for their children. Any mistake performed by the rebellious teen or son or daughter, parents justify. Yeah, my son, he's going through difficulty. They just make excuses, make justifications, always justify. justifying their mistakes. The mother justifies to the father justifies to the mother. This has to stop. You can't always justify. Don't always justify for their mistakes, because you're sending them the wrong message. You're telling them that you can get away with anything and I will not hold you accountable. This is a mistake. Our sons and daughters have to know that there's a limit, there's a line, there's a red line. They will be held accountable. They can't get away with whatever they do. Any mistake they do, we justify. This is a mistake. This is wrong. Yeah, they have to learn that to receive your good graces, they have to earn it. To receive your respect, they have to earn it. It has to be earned. It's not given. It's not passed out. Correct? Sometimes we cause them to become rebellious. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. In some families, one of the factors of having rebellious teens is that sometimes there's domestic abuse. There's violence, physical violence, sometimes verbal violence. Sometimes verbal violence and abuse is worse than physical abuse. Not that I'm not justifying physical abuse. Physical abuse is not allowed, period. Period. First of all, this destroys your son and daughter by hitting them, using physical force. By being physically violent, this destroys them. This causes them to become rebellious. This causes them to object. You're destroying them. And you're breaking the law. And you're risking for them to be taken away from you, or you might end up in jail. This is a mistake. When children see that there's domestic abuse in the house, the father is being violent, the mother is being violent, physically, emotionally, verbally violent. This is a mistake. Some parents are toxic. Some. It's even a small fraction. They can be toxic. This is a mistake. No. Don't say, well, back home in Iraq, my father would take out his belt. Guess what? You're not in Iraq. You're in Manchester. And it's not 1939. It's 2024. I don't care what your father used to do. I don't care what our families. It doesn't matter how you were raised. What matters is how you raise your children. Don't think that the mistake performed by your father or mother entitles you to perform the same mistake. No. You're not entitled to do the same thing. We live in a different time, in a different place, in a different culture, in a different country with different norms, different laws. Different laws. This is something very serious. Instead of being physically violent, put rules, put regulations. There's other ways of implementing rules in the house. You don't have to use physical violence. This is a mistake. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the imams were never physically violent. Not with their children, not with their wives. Some say, the Quran says, you may beat your wife. First of all, many people have misunderstood this verse. Second, none of the prophets, and especially our prophet, nor the imams were ever physically violent with any of their wives. Never. Never. Or with their children. We have to learn from their sunnah, from their teachings, of how they behaved with their spouses and how they behaved with their children. طيب. Number 4, we have to try to understand, why is my son being rebellious? Why is my daughter being rebellious? Maybe there's a problem. Maybe in school they're having difficulty. Maybe they're being bullied. Bullied, yes. This is something real. Being bullied in school is something real. And a lot of our children don't tell us about it. They're ashamed or they're embarrassed. But my son, my daughter might be being bullied at school. Maybe for hijab. Maybe for their accent. Maybe for their color. For any reason. Maybe they're being bullied. But they don't know how to behave. They come and take it out on us. They go into their rooms. They get stuck upstairs in their rooms. They're always on their phone. They're angry. But there's a reason. We have to try to understand what the reason is. Don't just say, my son is intolerable, my daughter is intolerable. Try to understand why. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe you can fix the problem. If they're being bullied, you switch schools, or you go to the administration, or you discover who is bullying them, who is hurting them. Maybe they're going through depression. Maybe they have anxiety for any reason. For any reason. And today we have 1,001 reasons for depression and anxiety. Let's not put the blame on them. Let's try to understand why are they exhibiting such behavior and becoming rebellious. Try to understand and maybe solve the problem. And we can only understand by communicating the right way, not by getting angry. Getting angry will not solve any problem, but rather having a serious discussion, a peaceful, silent, calm discussion with our children to understand what is going on. Maybe they have a problem with their friends, with schoolwork, with college, with university. So many reasons. Number 5, another reason why some teenagers become rebellious, rebellious, is because some parents favors some children over others. This is a problem. This is a problem. If you have your parents and you have siblings and your mother always sides with one of your brothers against you, or with one of your sisters against you, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. Favoring some children over the others, this is a mistake. My mother, sometimes she's asked, I have 8 siblings. We're 6 brothers and 3 sisters. So sometimes she's asked, who's your favorite? Of course, I know I'm the favorite. No doubt about that. But she doesn't say it because I'm the youngest out of 9. So sometimes she's asked, who's your favorite? She said, look at my fingers. Can you choose a favorite finger? No, your children are like your fingers. If someone tells you, God forbid, we want to cut off a finger, volunteer one. Which one are you going to volunteer? The thumb, or the index finger, or the pinky? Which one? They're all yours. You can't favor some fingers over the others. She would always say, my sons are like my fingers. I can't favor some over others. This is a mistake. When some parents favor some children over the others, this was the mistake of whom? Which prophet? Yaqub alayhi salam. Yaqub, because he loved Yusuf the most, he favored him the most, he caused his other children to become envious towards Yusuf. This was done at the hands of Yaqub. Part of it was shaitan, part of it was the nafs al-ammara bisu of the sons of Yaqub, and part of it was his mistake. He favored Yusuf over his other children. They said, إِذْ قَالُوا لَيُوسُفُ وَأَخُوهُ أَحَبُّ إِلَىٰ أَبِينَا مِنَّا وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ إِنَّ أَبَانَا لَفِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. They said that our father chooses Yusuf over us. He favors Yusuf over us. This caused them to become envious of Yusuf. This was a mistake. Don't favor them. Even if you love, as parents, even if you love one more than the other, hide it. Don't show it. Don't show it. We have so many narrations, so many ahadith, so many teachings from Ahlul Bayt. Don't show more love for one son or daughter than the other. Love them equally. Even if you secretly love them more in your heart, don't show it. Show them the same amount of love. Don't show some more love than the other. Or you favor them, or you justify for them, or when they fight, you always side with one against the other. This is a mistake. This is not allowed according to Islamic teachings. And finally, number 6, one reason why today many teens have become rebellious is because of social media. Video games, violent video games, this is a problem. Violent video games. Too much time on social media, screen addiction, not playing outside. You know, previously, when we were growing up, we'd play sports. We'd go out and we'd play soccer, or football, or basketball. We had physical sports. Today, our children don't play sports. They're always on their gadgets. They're always on their iPads. Screen addiction. This is the addiction of the age. This is the problem of the age. Screen addiction. This could cause them depression, anxiety, and ultimately they become rebellious. These are some problems, my dear friends. Wa sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Here, I will mention some recommendations before going into reciting the Musibah of Fatima Zahra. Number one, my dear brothers and sisters, parents, those who are parents now or future parents, inshallah, always stay calm and collected. When having a discussion with your son or daughter, do not get angry. Try your best not to get angry. Stay calm. Stay reasonable. Stay rational. When dealing with them, try not to get angry. Also, set reasonable rules and let them know in advance. Don't set rules at a spontaneous time, whenever you like it, and then your son or daughter says, when did you set this rule? I didn't know about this rule. You said, no, well, it is now a rule. It doesn't work that way. When you set a rule, tell them in advance. If you want them to come back, for example, at 10 p.m., don't wait when they're out at 11 p.m. You call them and you say you've broken a rule. They didn't know about the rule. Let them know about the rule in advance. And let them know of the consequences. For example, you take their iPad for a week. You take their iPad for 2 days. For example, you let them know of the consequences. That way they know of the rule and they know of the consequences of what will happen if they break the rule. Also, listen. We have to practice as parents. We are experts at preaching. We are experts at speaking and at lecturing. Sometimes we need to be experts at listening. Listening. Yes. To listen to our children. To listen to their problems. To listen to their challenges. What are they going through? Especially Muslims here in the West. It's a challenge to be a good Muslim in the West. To do good in school and to satisfy your parents. This is a challenge. Let them know. Understand. Try to understand. Try to understand their challenges, what they're going through by listening. Also, give them some independence and freedom. You see, there's two types of parents. One type that are dictators. They give absolutely no freedom and no independence to their children. And there's another type that always give a free pass for their children. Both groups are a mistake. Be somewhere in the middle. Be moderate. Don't give a free pass all the time, nor become a dictator. Give some independence and some freedom. Some independence and some freedom. Give and take. As parents, there has to be give and take with your children. Also, pick your battles. You don't have to argue about everything. Their haircut, their curfew, what they wore, their grades, their salah, their masjid, this. Pick your battles. Don't argue about everything. Prioritize. Sometimes you have to prioritize. For example, be lenient with the haircut, but with the curfew, don't be lenient, or vice versa. There has to be give and take. You have to prioritize your arguments. Don't argue about everything, about the smallest matters. It doesn't work that way. You're destroying yourself, and you're destroying your health, and you're destroying them as well, and you're affecting their mental health as well. And also admit when you're wrong. This sets an example. As parents, we don't like to admit when we're wrong. If you made a mistake towards your child, admit it and apologize. This sends a message that you're not a dictator, that you're a good father, you're a good mother, you're willing to give and take, you're willing to compromise. Encourage fun activities. There's nothing wrong with it. When it's time to have fun, let them have fun. When it's time to be serious, let them be serious. It can't be serious all the time. You have to understand this. It can't be serious all the time. They need to relax and enjoy themselves once in a while. Be lenient. And spend quality time. Quality time doesn't have to be at home. You could go for a walk. You could do what is enjoyable for them. Share with them their beautiful moments. Spend quality time. We live in an age when parents don't spend a quality time with their children. The parents are busy and their children are busy. Now they have to spend quality time together. وَصَلُّوا عَلَى مُحَمَّدٍ وَآلِ مُحَمَّدٍ. Fatima Zahra alayhi salam was a great mother. And she was a great parent. But you know how she would parent? Not with lecturing. She was not excellent at lecturing. She was excellent at being a mother by setting the right example. Setting the right example. A major mistake that parents fall into is double standards. We tell our children one thing and we do something else. Fatima Zahra taught by implementing her own teachings, by setting a good example. We all know the story when Imam al-Hassan and Imam al-Hussein fell ill. Amir al-Mu'mineen and Fatima Zahra made a vow, a nadhr, to fast for 3 days if their sons become well. And indeed they became well, and they fasted for 3 days. The first day they're about to have their iftar, they hear the doorbell or someone knocking at the door. They open and it's someone poor. Fatima Zahra alayhi salam doesn't say we have to give. No. She takes the bread and she offers it by actions. She teaches by action. The second day, a prisoner of war comes at the time of Maghrib. And again, she offers everything. The third, an orphan, and she offers everything she has. She taught by example. وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا إِنَّمَا نُطْعِمُكُمْ لِوَجْهِ اللَّهِ لَا نُرِيدُ مِنْكُمْ جَزَاءً وَلَا شُكُورًا. Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam says, one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw my mother Fatima Zahra performing Salat al-Layl. He saw her performing Salat al-Layl. She didn't need to preach or teach about performing Salat al-Layl. No, she herself would implement and her children learned. He says that I saw her praying for everyone except herself. So after she finished, I asked her, Imam al-Hassan says, I asked her, my mother, I saw you praying for everyone, but you did not pray for yourself. She said, Na'am, waladi, al-jar, thumma ad-dar. Your neighbor and then yourself. Think of others. Usually when we say a dua, we begin with ourselves. And then if we have time, we mention others. We pray for others. No, begin by praying for others. Saying a dua for others. We have a hadith that says, if you pray for 40 mu'mineen, Allah will say, you will have the same. You don't have to ask for yourself. Allah will tell you, you shall have the same. وَلَكَ مِثْلُ ذَلِكَ. You'll have the same. طيب. We have a hadith that during the last 10 nights of Ramadan, Fatima Zahra would gather the beds. There were no more sleeping. There were only naps. Only naps. The Ahl al-Bayt during the last 10 nights of Ramadan would not sleep an entire night. They would only take naps here and there because all of the beds were taken. This was a lesson. This is how she taught her children, by setting the right example, by implementing. In addition to being a great wife to her husband, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, she taught by example. Now, after the attack on the house of Fatima Zahra would come to the grave of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Her solace would be to come to the grave of Rasulullah, complaining to him, crying next to his grave. She would grab some sand from the grave of Rasulullah and she would smell it. And she would say, ماذا على من شم تربة أحمد ألا يشم مدى الزمان غواليا صبت علي مصائب لو أنها صبت على الأيام صرن لياليا. the people of Medina came to Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. They told him, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, tell your wife Fatima to either cry during the day or during the night. She cannot cry both day and at night. When she cries during the night, we cannot sleep. And when she cries during the day, we cannot work. Tell her to choose either to work, to sleep, to cry either during the day or during the night. Fatima Zahra told Amir al-Mu'mineen to take her outside of Medina. He built her a small room called Baytul Ahzan. Fatima Zahra would come with Al-Hassan wal Hussein to Baytul Ahzan, and she would cry all day for the loss and demise of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alih. قومك يا بويا ما رعاني وخلاف عينك مرمراني ومن البجع ليك منعاني وبرا المدينة طلعوني ورا الباب لما اعصروني للحايط وليه عصروني يابا كسروا ضلعي وسقطوني. It was the day of the demise of Fatima Zahra. One narration says that she died 40 days after the death of Rasulullah. A second narration says that she died 75 days after the death of Rasulullah. A third narration says 95 days after the demise of Rasulullah, she passed away. It was the day of her demise. Fatima Zahra asked Asma, she told her that keep Al-Hassan wal Hussein outside of the house because I wish to say my farewell and my will to Amir al-Mu'mineen, and it is very sensitive. There are things that I'd like to say. I do not want Al-Hassan wal Hussein to hear. So she kept them busy outside of the house. Fatima Zahra, she came to Amir al-Mu'mineen. She was lying on her bed. Amir al-Mu'mineen comes to her. She says, Ya ibn al-Am, my cousin, ما عهدتني كاذبة ولا خائنة ولا خالفتك منذ عاشرتني. Oh my cousin, Ya Ali, did you ever see me disobey you or dishonor you throughout your life? He said, Na'udhu billah, you Fatima, did you ever disobey me or you ever disrespect me? You are greater than this, Ya Fatima, to say these words. And then she told him that I'd like to say my last farewell to you and my last will to you. أوصيك أن لا يشهد جنازتي من هؤلاء الذين ظلموني. Ya Ali, do not let my enemy witness my funeral. I do not want any of them to attend my funeral. فإنهم عدوي وعدو رسول الله. They are my enemy and the enemy of Rasulullah. ولا تترك أن يصلي علي أحد منهم. And do not let any of them pray over my janazah. وادفني في الليل إذا هدأت العيون ونامت الأبصار. And bury me at night when all eyes have shut and gone to sleep. يا ابن العم إذا قضيت نحبي فغسلني ولا تكشف عني. When I die, wash me, but do not uncover me. We will find out later why Fatima Zahra did not want Amir al-Mu'mineen to uncover her. فإني طاهرة مطهرة. I am purified. وحنطني بفاضل حنوط رسول الله. وصل علي, and pray over me. وليصلي علي معك الأدنى فالأدنى. And choose the closest of our family members to pray over my body. ولا تشهد جنازتي أحدا ممن ظلمني. And do not let any of my any of my oppressors and my enemies to witness my funeral. ولمن دنت منها المنية حضر عدها الوصي وقت الوصية. تقل يا ادن يا بعد الروح ليا دنا لها ومن عند الدمع خار. Amir al-Mu'mineen leaves the house. Asma says that I saw Fatima Zahra remembering Allah, Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah. All of a sudden I saw the lips of Fatima stop moving and she stopped whispering. I went to her, Sayyidati Ya Fatima, but there was no answer. Ya Fatima Zahra, Ya al-Hasan wal-Hussein. Oh, the mother of Al-Hasan wal-Hussein. I saw no answer. I saw that Fatima Zahra had departed this life. I told her, Ya Fatima, ballighi salami. Rasulullah, give my salam to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. I put a cloth over her body. Moments later, Al-Hasan wal-Hussein came back to the house. They came. Al-Hasan asked, Ya Asma, ayna ummuna Fatima? Asma, where's our mother Fatima? I said, my sons, come and eat. Your food is ready. Al-Hasan said, when have you ever seen us eat our food without our mother Fatima? Tell us, where's our mother Fatima? Here Al-Hasan realized what is happening. He ran inside the house to the body of his mother Fatima, and his younger brother Imam Al-Hasan followed. They went to the body of Fatima Zahra. Al-Hasan comes to his mother, Ummah, kallimini qabla an tanfajra mararati fa-amut. My mother, speak to me before I die, before my soul leaves my body. As for Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he goes to the feet of his mother. He brushes his cheeks with the feet of his mother. And he says, Ummah, kallimini fa ana waladuk al-Hussein. My mother, speak to me. This is Hussein, your son. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. نسألك اللهم وندعوك باسمك العلي الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم يا الله. Raise your hands in dua. Don't forget your brothers and sisters in Gaza and southern Lebanon, all across the world. Remember your parents, remember your children, remember your siblings, remember your neighbors, your friends. Remember them in dua. نسألك اللهم وندعوك باسمك العلي الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم يا الله. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته، ولا هما إلا فرجته، ولا عيبا إلا سترته، ولا خوفا إلا آمنته، ولا رزقا إلا بسطته، ولا شملا إلا جمعته، ولا مرضا إلا شفيته، ولا غائبا إلا حفظته وأدنيته، ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا قضيتها ويسرتها يا أرحم الراحمين. ولأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات والعلماء والشهداء نقرأ سورة الفاتحة مع الصلوات.
हाय सैयदा ताहिरा सैयदा हाय सैयदा ताहिरा सैयदा सपड़ो सैयदा ताहिरा हाय सैयदा ताहिर हाय सैयदा ताहिरा सैयदा सैयदा ताहिरा 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 पढ़ो माशाल्लाह। पढ़ो है पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा हुसैन आ जाओ 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 पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा हुसैन आ ओ पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा हुसैन आ जा सब पढ़ो मातवी रो के ये ज़हरा हुसैन आ जाओ है पुकारी रो ज़हरा मिलूंगी फिर ना दोबारा मिलूंगी फिर ना दोबारा हुसैन आ जाओ पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा हुसैन आ जाओ मिलूंगी फिर ना दोबारा मिलूंगी फिर ना दोबारा हुसैन आ जाओ पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा हुसैन आ जाओ पढ़ो रो के ये ज़हरा हुसैन आ है पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा मैं आज जाऊंगी तो फिर ना लौट पाऊंगी ऐ मेरे चांद सा बेटा ऐ मेरे चांद सा बेटा हुसैन आ जाओ पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा हुसैन आ जाओ पुकारी रो पढ़ो है हुसैन आ जाओ है पुकारी रो मैं माहूँ मर के भी तेरा ना साथ छोड़ूंगी मैं माहूँ मर के भी तेरा ना साथ छोड़ूंगी सदा ये दूंगी हमेशा सदा ये दूंगी हमेशा हुसैन आ जाओ पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा हुसैन आ जाओ ज़हरा हुसैन आ चपड़ो है पुकारी रो जिस घड़ी जालिम ने जलता दरवाजा, गिराया जिस घड़ी जालिम ने जलता दरवाजा, लबों पे बीबी के आया, लबों पे बीबी के आया, हुसैन आ जाओ, पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा, हुसैन आ जाओ। जे बात में जाओ है पुकारी रो, हुसैन घोड़े से मकतर की खाक पर ना गिरे, हुसैन घोड़े से मकतर की खाक पर ना गिरे, वहाँ भी कहती थी ज़हरा, वहाँ भी कहती थी ज़हरा, हुसैन आ जाओ, पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा, हुसैन आ जाओ, पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा, ये है पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा, तमाम करके असद गुस्लो कफन ज़हरा का, तमाम करके असद गुस्लो कफन ज़हरा का, किया अली ने ये गिरिया, किया अली ने ये गिरिया, हुसैन आ जाओ, पुकारी रो ये ज़हरा, हुसैन आ जाओ, हुसैन पुकारी रो के ये ज़हरा, हुसैन आ जाओ। रो आके ज़ैनब किस पासे जावा, मेरा घर जलाया लुटिया रे दावा, रो आके ज़ैनब किस पासे जावा, मेरा घर जलाया लुटिया रे दावा, रो आके ज़ैनब किस पासे जाओ, मेरा घर जलाया लुटिया रे दावा, रो आके ज़ैनब किस पासे जावा, आबिद बचावा याग बुझावा, आबिद बचावा याग बुझावा, रो आके ज़ैनब किस पासे जावा, मेरा घर जलाया लुटिया रे दावा, रो आके ज़ैनब किस पासे जावा, मेरा घर जला, पासे जावा, मेरा घर जलाया, यूसुफ तो सोने मेरे वीर मारे, मैं शाम चलिया बेकफन सारे, यूसुफ तो सोने मेरे वीर मारे, मैं शाम चलिया बेकफन सारे, कबरा बनावा या रसिया पावा, कबरा बनावा या रसिया पावा, रो आके ज़ैनब किस पासे जावा, मेरा घर जलाया लुटिया रे दावा, रो आके ज़ैनब किस पासे जावा, मेरा माशाल्लाह, मेरा घर जलाया लुटिया रे दावा, जिस वीर दे लई छड़िया मदीना, जिवें कत्ल होया बुलना कदीना, जिस वीर दे लई छड़िया मदीना, जिवें कत्ल होया बुलना कदीना, हुण कफन पावा या शाम जावा, हुण कफन पावा या शाम जावा, रो आके ज़ैनब किस पासे जावा, मेरा घर जलाया लुटिया रे दावा, रो आके ज़ैनब किस पासे जावा, मेरा घर जलाया लुटिया रे दावा, पासे जावा, मेरा घर जलाया लुटिया रे दावा, रो ना किसी पासे जावा मेरा घर जलाया या ज़हरा या ज़हरा या ज़हरा या ज़हरा पढ़ो माशाल्लाह या ज़हरा या ज़हरा ऐ मेरी बीबी ऐ मेरी बीबी तेरे दर पे इस्तिग़ासा है तेरा ममनून मेरी शहज़ादी ये जहाँ सारा है या ज़हरा या नज़र मौला माता या ज़हरा हमें हिफ्ज़ और अमा दे दे अपनी चादर का साहिबा दे दे तो हमें हिफ्ज़ और अमा दे दे अपनी चादर का साहिबा दे दे तेरी कुदरत में क्या नहीं बीबी तू जिसे चाहे दो जहां दे दे या ज़हरा ज़हरा या ज़हरा या ज़हरा या है तेरा दरबार वो सखी दर है हर फरिश्ता जहाँ गदागर है तेरा दरबार वो सखी दर है हर फरिश्ता जहाँ गदागर है तेरे मकरूज आसमां वाले तेरा मकरूज हर सिकंदर है या हरा है या ज़हरा या ज़हरा तुझको उम्मत तुझको उम्मत ने यूं सताया है मर्ग़ मोहसिन पे भी रुलाया है तुझको बाबा के बाद उम्मत ने हाय दरबार में बुलाया है तुझको उम्मत ने यूं सताया है मर्ग़ मोहसिन पे भी रुलाया है तुझको बाबा के बाद उम्मत ने हाय दरबार में बुलाया है या ज़हरा या ज़हरा ज़हरा या आखिरी शेर सुन ले है या ज़हरा है या माशाल्लाह इसे बुलंद पढ़े या ज़हरा एक बार और है या ज़हरा माशाल्लाह हाँ है फर्श मजलिस पे और मुसल्ले पर हर जवा कह रहा है रो रो कर फर्श मजलिस पे और मुसल्ले पर हर जवा कह रहा है रो रो कर हम रहे ना रहे मगर बीबी ता क़यामत रहे हमें सरवर या हरा है या ज़हरा या ज़हरा या ज़हरा है या
ज़हरा या ज़हरा حسين يا فاطمة مظلومة يا فاطمة مظلومة يا فاطمة مظلومة يا فاطمة مظلومة Voices يا فاطمة مظلومة 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 يا my dear Fatima, tonight your husband faces his plight with a tongue and arms held back. Your broken ribs broke my back. Your Haidar sees no more nur. Back to heaven goes his hur. Ya Fatima mazluma, Ya Fatima mazluma, Ya Fatima mazluma, Ya my dear wife, your hand I hold. I feel your fingers turn cold. Fatima with teary eyes, I think at how fast time flies. Yesterday we're newlyweds, today you're on your deathbed. Ya Fatima mazluma, Ya Fatima mazlum. Louder, Ya Fatima mazluma. Your shroud prepared a flashback. My memory takes me back. I recall your wedding dress, oh so beautiful no less. Your dress you gave to the poor, on your shroud my tears they pour. Ya Fatima mazluma, Ya Fatima mazluma, Ya Fatima mazluma. Ali, I am so sorry for your loss, how can this be? He tells me that heaven's near and that you will live through tears. Time will not erode your name, the earth your majlis became. Ya Fatima mazluma, Ya Fatima mazluma, Ya Fatima. He says, look at autumn leaves, they fall from autumn and grief. He says, look at rising seas, that tears shed in disbelief. He says, Ali, look, the sun, its rays each night's left as none. Ya Fatima mazluma, Ya Fatima mazluma, Ya Fatima mazluma, Ya Fatima mazluma. Fidda, help me, I am in need. 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 Voices, Fidda, help me, I am in need. Fidda, help me, I am in need. Allah, the dawn which broke the day, carried a painful hue. These seas, like for Moses, now would all split into. The birds would stop chirping like they were warning you. All of creation was already mourning you. Matam would start in every heart. Matam would start in every heart. Father, help me, I am in need. Father, help me, I am in need. Louder, Father, I am in need. Father, help me, I am in need. Allah, from your abode you heard a loud aggressive thud, so you went by the door, all by yourself you stood. You knew deep in your heart behind there was no good. You smelt a smoke burning, hatred was mixed with wood. As burned your veil, darkness prevailed. As burned your veil, darkness prevailed. Father, help me, I am in need. Father, help me, I am in need. Father, help. مأجورين me, I am in need. Allah, come out, Ali. Were the words that you'd hear. I am Fatima, I am the one who stood here. They did not have regard, they replied with so what? Despite who they would face, for Khalifa they plot. There are no three, only Ali. There are no three, only Ali. Father, help me, I am in need. Father, help me, I am in. Allah, from your abode you heard a loud aggressive thud, so you went by the door, all by yourself you stood. They did not have regard, they replied with so what? Despite you, Allah, despite who they would face, for Khalifa they plot. There are no three, only Ali. Louder, there are no three, only Ali. Louder, only Ali. There are no three, only Ali. Father, help me, I am in need. Father, help me, I am in. Allah, you'd inhale a deep breath, cloaked in your bravery. You try and resist, but the char was so heavy. You'd clench your stomach tight, holding your dear baby. What kind of men do this to a pregnant lady? The earth, it's broke, hearing you choke. The earth, it's broke, hearing you choke. Father, help me, I am in need. Father, help me. Louder, Father, Father, help me, I am in need. They would then push the door, squeezing you by the wall. As the nail pierced your ribs, to the ground you would fall. The earth was so confused, this was so unlike you. You usually came down in sujood 2 by 2. Is this not prayer? Why are you here? Is this not prayer? Why are you here? Father, help me, I am in need. Father, help me. Father, help me, I am in need. Father, help me. Allah, you declared a statement, those who on me would pray, I don't want them on my grave to then stand and pray. They don't get shifa'ah, they don't get paradise. This is their own choosing, they chose their own demise. They murdered Al-Fatima, inna lillah. Ya Fatima, fidda, fidda, help me, I am in need. Louder, fidda, help me. Goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Faster. Goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Allah standing in a field, the sun beams down. Field of flowers where winds swirl around. One flower with the others reside. With the breeze it's swaying side by side. Now we say on this day, Fatima, in our hearts you will stay. Goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, yo. Allah, Fatima was how women should be, courageous and was always ready. She would defend her husband Ali, leading and inspiring righteously. Your attributes, they are so ample. You have been the greatest example, and for the humble life that you led, your tasbihatul Zahra is read. Our cries, all their lies, the state of the world is no surprise. Goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, oh Fatima. Hey, goodbye, yo, Fatima Zahra. Allah, Fatima, you were taken too soon. The flower that's in the eternal bloom. You wanted no glory and no fame, and yet you witnessed Muhammad's pain. Who else but Fatima cleaned this wound? Who else but her, the flower that's bloomed? So much pain that Fatima endured, all for Islam's success she ensured. Now today we do say, with every dua and when we pray, goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, oh Fatima Zahra. Goodbye. Fatima makes patience impatient. The flower when crushed leaves a fragrance. The mother of Hassan and Hossein, we won't forget those who caused you pain, and the last sorrow that befell you. Despite all your grief they threatened you. Then they came and crushed you with the door. Muhsin unborn, what was he killed for? All this pain, for what gain? Was the daughter of Muhammad slain? Goodbye, yo Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, yo Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, yo Fatima Zahra. Goodbye, yo.
جزاكم الله. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين، وعلى التسعة المعصومين من ذريته علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والحجة بن الحسن. عجل الله فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك وظهورك. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. يا الله يا الله يا الله. اللهم بحق المضطر جب المضطر ونحن المضطرون يا الله. اللهم شافي كل مريض بحق مريض كربلاء زين العابدين. ورحم الله من قرأ سورة الفاتحة لكل المؤمنين والمؤمنات لا سيما أموات الحاضرين. تسبق الصلاة على محمد وآل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين. صلوات.